Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just got finished watching Enola Holmes, now released on Netflix, starring Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill, and Helena Bonham Carter. Now when it comes to the Sherlock Holmes series, he's certainly been a detective that has been around in various mediums, from television to films to even anime like Kabukicho Sherlock. It's clear that the famous detective from Baker Street definitely isn't going away. But his sister Enola is taking the title role this time when it comes to a mystery of her finding her mother and that of a mysterious marquise, while also learning how to carve her own path while still having a fun detective story for most fans of this kind of mystery. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story is that Enola Holmes, played by Millie Bobby Brown, has is trying to search for her mother, played by Helena Bonham Carter, after she mysteriously went missing years prior to the start of the story. But Mycroft Holmes is more concerned with getting her to be a proper lady, so he decides to enroll her in a girls' academy, while Millie Bobby Brown rebels, and since she's unable to get help from her brother Sherlock, played by Henry Cavill, she ends up trying to solve the mystery of the Marquise and how he's involved in this entire involved in this entire election business, while also trying to find her mother. Now, one of the most important parts of any detective movie, as you might know, is trying to solve the mystery. And thankfully, this is a mystery that is worthwhile to be solved, as it happens to feed information in usually pretty subtle ways until it flashes back and lets you know how the information will be used later. And it allows you to essentially solve the mystery as an audience member while the other people are doing it. And on top of that, we also get some really good performances throughout. Millie Bobby Brown, being Enola, happens to essentially be the charismatic detective that you'd expect her to be, and very unconventional when it comes to the type of lady that Victorian England would normally have. And especially when it happens to her breaking the fourth wall, she delivers a lot of energy to her performance, and it just makes her engaging to follow. Henry Cavill gets to play Sherlock Holmes, so that's Superman playing Sherlock Holmes, and he actually manages to be a more traditional Sherlock in comparison to, say, Robert Downey Jr. from the Sherlock Holmes movies. But that's not a bad thing. I think he does a fine job with the material that he's given. Same goes for Helena Bonham Carter as Enola's mother. She doesn't appear in the film that often, as expected when the majority of the plot is about finding her. But the scenes that she's given, especially in the flashbacks, are well done, and they do get you to understand the bond that these women have. Another thing that I loved about this movie is the production design. Everything looks great when it comes to the Victorian era England, from the trains to the buildings to the costume design. Everything about it just looks authentic and looks very much Holmes-like when it comes to how you'd imagine a story like this to take place. The music's also great, and the special effects, while they're mainly used for the sake of cutaway jokes or essentially fast edited effects to help the story roll along through, you could say, a few montages, they actually are pretty well done and they don't distract from the overall experience. One of the only downsides, in my opinion, really is that when our main character Enola does go to the Girls' Academy, that section did feel like it came a little bit late in the film. I would have had it happen in the first half instead of the second, and it does stretch on for a bit longer than I would have liked. But even that wasn't a deal breaker for me. So overall, Enola Holmes is definitely an enjoyable mystery film for those who are fans of the genre. Though thankfully, I'm going to be going back to the movie theaters soon to review Tenet, so you should definitely look forward to that review. See you next time.